Good evening. May I have your attention, please? I'd like to call the Program Delivery Committee meeting to order, and I would ask Mr. Albert Shelby to come forward, please.
Right. Well, good morning, Chairman Abel. Commissioner's not here today, but I'm sure he's here with us in the spirit, and members of the board. Today, we're here to present projects that are contributing to the corridor improvements along State Route 316 in Gwinnett, Barrow, and Oconee counties. These projects are either constructed, under active construction, or under active design. So first, I'm going to discuss the four State Route 316 projects that have been complete or under active construction right now. And those are the four you see in terms of the list. The interchange at State Route 316 at Harbins Road has been completed and open to traffic. This project, which replaced a signalized intersection at State Route 316 at Harbins Road, was entirely locally funded by Gwinnett County and delivered using an encroachment permit process. The interchange at State Route 316 at State Route 81, which is Loganville Highway, has been open to traffic for well over a year now. This interchange also replaced an at-grade crossing. The total investment for this particular project was $44.6 million. This project, currently under construction, will grade separate the existing at-grade intersection of State Route 316 at Widening Monroe Highway with a June 2023 completion date. The proposed grade separation will include full interchange access from State Route 316. This project represents a total investment of $44.6 million as well. And here's an image from that particular construction site that's ongoing right now. As you can see, construction has begun and the clearing phase is well underway. This is the interchange at State Route 316 at State Route 53, which is Hog Mountain Road, and it is open to traffic, and it replaced a grade signalized intersection. The project grade separated State Route 53 under State Route 316, as you can see here. The total investment of this project was $31.1 million. Now I'm going to talk about the active projects that are in design. The first project will construct the new grade-separated Tight Urban Diamond Interchange at State Route 316 at High Hope Road and will close the existing access to State Route 316 at Progress Center Avenue and Wimberley Way. A collector distributor system will be constructed to the outside of the proposed ramps at High Hope Road. The west-facing collector distributor lanes will connect to existing State Route 316 CD lanes at State Route 20, with a new westbound auxiliary lane from State Route 20 to Collins Hill Road. The east-facing collector distributor lanes will connect to State Route 316 prior to Cedars Road. Reynolds Road will be realigned parallel to State Route 316 to connect to a new location on High Hope Road and Hurricane Shoals Road. Wow. A roundabout is proposed at High Hope / Hurricane Shoals Road and Airport Road. And this project is expected to start in fiscal year 2024 for construction and has a total investment of $123 million. This next project is actually the companion to the previous one and will convert the existing intersection of Cedars Road and State Route 316 to a right-in, right-out, ramp-served intersection. Access to the south section of Cedars Road will be removed, and the existing crossover section of median on State Route 316 will be eliminated and replaced with a depressed grass median section matching the adjacent sections. This project is expected to start construction in fiscal year 2024 with a total investment of $8.9 million. This next project includes the construction of the interchange at Hurricane Trail. The Hurricane Trail Bridge will span over State Route 316 and the proposed collector distributor lanes from the previous project. Hurricane Trail at State Route 316 interchange is a partial diamond cloverleaf interchange configuration. State Route 316 will remain approximately at its current grade and requires two bridges, one over State Route 316 eastbound and westbound, spanning over the CSX Railroad. This project is expected to start construction in fiscal year 2024 for a total investment of $66.3 million. The next project includes the closure of the existing Fence Road intersection with State Route 316 and connection of the Fence Road connector between existing Fence Road to the west and the ramp terminus of State Route 316 ramps with US 29, which is also State Route 8, which is Winder Highway, to the east. The Fence Road connector bridge will span over the existing CSX Railroad. This project is expected to start construction in fiscal year 2024 for a total investment of $8.3 million. This project you see here is the State Route 316 just west of Fence Road to west of Sugarloaf Parkway interchange. The section of limited access arterial includes the interchange at US 29, which is also State Route 8 Winder Highway, and the reconstruction of Stanley Road to close access to US 29, which is State Route 8 Winder Highway. The State Route 316 interchange with US 29 is an east-facing cloverleaf interchange due to the existing CSX Railroad line to the west. Two new bridges, State Route 316, both east and westbound, will be constructed to span the CD system from the previous projects in both directions. The sponsor, Gwinnett County, has contributed approximately $5 million towards the preliminary engineering for this particular project, and the total investment in fiscal 2024 is $81.5 million. This next project is actually phase 3 of the West Winder bypass, which is also State Route 211. It includes reconstructing the intersection of Patrick Mill Road at State Route 316 into an interchange. Ramps will be constructed for access onto and off of State Route 316. Additionally, Tom Miller Road will be relocated to the southwest. This project is expected to start construction in fiscal year 2024 and a total investment of $65.1 million. The next project will construct an interchange at Dow's Mill Extension and State Route 316. The intersection of Dow's Mill Road at 316 is a potential closure. This project is currently in the concept development stage. The project is expected to start construction in fiscal year 2025 with a total estimated investment of $38.9 million.
Well, good afternoon, Chairman, members of the board, and Commissioner. I'm Andrew Hainig, and I'm the Construction Program Manager for Alternative Delivery. And I'm going to focus on the design-build bundle projects that we have along on 316. So Albert has the OPD project, the design bid build, and then we're also looking at doing some design-build bundle projects along 316. So what do the bundles consist of? Well, there's seven separate individual projects along 316. There you can see the 7. We have 5 new interchanges along 316, and then 2 grade separations, which means just bridges over 316 without the ramps. So these 7 separate individual projects are bundled together into 3 design-build contracts, and there you can see the 1, 2, and 3. One thing I'll mention is that they're actually ordered in terms of letting date, so that's why you have 1 and 3 in Barrow County and 2 in Oconee County. It's not east to west. But all 7 are in preliminary engineering development along NEPA or concept development, and then I'll talk about the construction schedules here in a minute. But why are we doing design builds on these in particular? There's a few reasons. One is safety. These are somewhat higher crash frequency and crash intensity locations, especially the Oconee Connector is a really high volume location. Also, some of them are, especially within the bundles themselves, some of them are really close geographically. So it helps to have one contractor do the 2 projects simultaneously, so you're not having any conflict or any overlap between multiple contractors. And then lastly, we've done design-build bridge bundles before, 5 or 6 bridges together, grouping them together geographically. But this is sort of a similar concept. We're grouping 2 projects together, 2 interchanges together, and you get an economy of scale from having multiple interchanges together. And these are all over $100 million, so they really fit the design-build strategy pretty well. So moving forward into where exactly they are individually. So Bundle 1 is in Barrow County. There you can see it's the interchange of Bethlehem Road and, there's an interchange on Bethlehem Road and Barber Creek interchange, that they're in the blue and the yellow, and then there's also some surrounding roadway network improvements there in the dashed yellow and blue lines. So this project is on schedule for delivery in Q4 of 2023. That will be the let date, and then since it is design build, we'll have some final design to complete after that. So then construction would start in 2024, and then all three bundles are about a 3-year construction window. So we should have them open to traffic in 2027. This project individually represents $145 million total investment, including construction, PE, and utilities. So we have a couple of renderings to show. The bundle 1 and 2, again, are a little bit further along. So we've gone to we've had public information open house meetings, and these were shown to the public. This is a rendering of Bethlehem Road interchange. There you can see it's just a new bridge over 316 with ramps like a typical diamond interchange, and we're currently proposing roundabout to the top of the ramps. That QR code there you can scan, or you can follow the link at the bottom, and that gives you a 360-degree video of the renderings. So another rendering is the Barber Creek Road interchange. Again, this is still in Bundle 1. There you can see similar diamond concept with the bridge over 316, and then this one will be stop sign controlled at the top of the ramps. So moving forward with Bundle 2, Bundle 2 again is in Oconee County. That consists of the interchange of Jimmy Daniel Road, and then also a new bridge over Virgil Langford Road, and a new interchange at Oconee Connector. This is the biggest project in the bundles. It's currently on schedule to be delivered in Q3 of 2024. Again, that's the letting. So construction would start in 2025 with substantial completion in 2025. This project, all encompassing, is $175 million, including PE, construction, and right-of-way. So we do have some renderings. Again, we've been to the public on this meeting, on this project just earlier this year. This is a Jimmy Daniel Road interchange, very similar to the Bundle 1. It has a diamond interchange with roundabouts currently proposed at the top of the ramps. So this is sort of the most complicated bundle we have. This is the Oconee Connector. Again, Virgil Langford is a separate project, but it'll be part of the contract to do Bundle 2. Virgil Langford, you can see, is just a bridge over 316 without the connecting ramps. But it does connect over to Oconee Connector, so you can get back to 316 pretty easily. And then Oconee Connector is going to have a loop ramp there in the middle of in the trees from 316 west to Oconee Connector, and then the top of the ramp there in the bottom right would have stoplight control. And then finally, the final bundle is Bundle 3 back in Barrow County. Again, this one's sort of a little bit further behind in schedule terms, just when we're delivering it. So we don't have the rendering because we haven't been to the public yet. We are anticipating going to the public next year, middle of next year, Q2, and then letting in late Q4 2024, and then construction would start in 2025 with, again, substantial completion in 2028. So this project is just the interchange at Kilcrease Road, and then a bridge at Carl Bethlehem Road without ramps again. So this total design build investment is $450 million, and it's a really good indication of what design builds can do with these type of bundled projects together. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Albert.
Thank you, Andrew.
Well, I want to thank you. I'll be using all of those.
So between the alternative delivery and the program delivery projects, that represents a total investment of approximately $961.4 million in the corridor. Are there any questions?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Albert, or actually Andrew, can you kind of go back to your earlier statement about why design build versus program delivery, and is the bundling reference, does that imply that we're not able to do any kind of bundling with program delivery?
Let me answer the part about the projects that I showed you. All right, so some of these were actually accelerated through Gwinnett County doing some of the PE. So we don't have complete control of them from that standpoint to go design build on some of those. The methodology to go design bid build on the ones where I talked about with closer to Sugarloaf Parkway have a lot of complexity associated with and a lot more right of way to buy. So there's been a lot more more collaboration and coordination with both Gwinnett County as well as with our design decisions over the last like 4 or 5 years for that one. The first three I showed you are kind of bundled together, but from a cost perspective standpoint, we're staggering them to give more contractors an opportunity on that side. The others that I showed you on the design bid build side are pretty much standalone. They're off on an island by themselves, so you don't have the same economy of size as you do with Andrews, where they're closer together.
Any other comments or questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
We stand adjourned.
I think we're spending way too much time.
Okay, if I can have everyone's attention again, please. The hour has arrived for us to call the Statewide Transportation Planning Strategic Committee together, and Chairman Golden was not able to make it today, so I'm going to do my best to fill in for him. Not that I could fill in for Mr. Golden, but I'll give it a try. So, keeping with our topic of State Route 316 and planning for the future, I'm going to ask Charles Robinson, the Assistant State Planning Engineer, to come forward and make us a presentation, please, sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon, you chairman, you members of the board, commissioner, and other meeting attendees. Again, my name is Charles Robinson. I'm one of the assistant office heads in the Office of Planning. I'm delighted today to provide to you an additional State Route 316 update, but from the planning perspective. I would like to begin the presentation by introducing you briefly to the State Route 16 corridor, which you may know as University Parkway. It spans for about 40 miles across Gwinnett, Barrow, and Oconee counties. And if you were to break it up into segments, there are about 16 miles in Gwinnett, about 16 in Barrow, and about 8 in Oconee. It's a key east-west corridor, and is also on the state freight network. You heard of some of the great ongoing developments along the corridor from the Program Delivery Committee you're meeting earlier, but it should be noted that the transformation of State Route 316, it didn't just begin. It's been going on for some time, and we plan to continue with the great developments along the corridor. It actually began in Gwinnett County, and it was more transformative from a growth perspective. I mean, there was rapid growth, there was pronounced. So a lot of the grade separations that you see today started in there, but they do expand to the western section, which is near Athens. So that's what we're proposing. But the goals remain the same: reducing crash frequency and severity, which is of paramount importance, improving mobility and congestion along the corridor, while accommodating the increased development and economic development along the corridor. I just noticed that was advancing the slides, but on the first one, there's just a general schematic, and it just highlights the icons of the goals that I had discussed with you earlier. And again, I kept you talking about the growth. So now there's some basic statistics along the corridor I want to share. So from a population standpoint, from 2010 to 2020, the growth factors are range from 1.7 to 2.5%. But what I wanted to share with you is the significant growth that's occurred. I mean, at a minimum, it's around 20% over that time. And by 2050, Gwinnett County is expected to exceed 1 million in population, which is huge. So what are we going to do? That growth is followed by increased traffic, developments and so forth, and which always will be a consideration in our future projects. So now let's talk about traffic volumes. The highest volumes are to the western portion of State Route 316, near the I-85, and we're talking about 115,000 vehicles. At the eastern end, they're about 27,000. But across the corridor, the truck traffic percentages range from 7 to 12%. So pretty likely, if you traverse the corridor, you'll see a freight or 18-wheeler or so forth through on any given day. I mentioned how crash frequency and severity and safety is of utmost importance. And again, it continues to be a top priority of the Georgia Department of Transportation. Quick fact, since the onset of COVID-19 in 2020, Georgia overall has experienced an increase of roadway crashes and fatalities. Based upon the historical data that's shown on the screen from 2015 to 2020, there are two high-frequency crash types that was observed along the corridor, the highest being angle and the second highest being rear end. Angles typically occur with failure to yield, so imagine you're approaching a side street, you're making a left, your main line, definitely is not a high potential severity crash. The rear end it occurs in highly congested corridors. There's more stop and go traffic, but from a statewide comparison for similar type facilities, from fatalities over the span of the 2015 to 2020 across the counties, more times than not, that corridor exceeded the statewide average for fatalities, which is something that you were definitely working on addressing with this projects. Continuing the safety focus. On the screen now, you see the 3 highest crash locations. I'm talking about total crashes for each intersection per county. So Harbins Road had the highest crashes, is in Gwinnett. Loganville Highway, which is State Route 81, is in Barrow, and Oconee County. But what I also like to share, and you heard this earlier in the presentation, we have a project at Harbins Road that Gwinnett County, a great partner through the special encroachment permit process, has opened to traffic. The Loganville Highway project at State Route 81, it opened in 2021, so it's been open for more than a year now. And the Oconee County project is under development now. That was one that Andrew Hainick talked about. And one of the key points I wanted to note about the Loganville State Route 81 project is, since the interchange has been open, and this is as of late August, there have been no fatal or serious crashes since it was open to traffic. And before, there have been 3 fatalities, and 6 injuries. Some other encouraging statistics since the project has been open is there's been a 7% decrease in minor injury crashes, 47% decrease in complaint injury crashes, and 27% decrease in non-injury crashes. And this is from our traffic safety data group. So those are definitely encouraging stats, and we're going to continue with that progression. On the map now, you can see the corridor speeds. And this is just a snapshot of pre and post. On the top side, you see a 2019 snapshot of the corridor. The red indicates where travel speeds are below 35 miles per hour. The green or exceed 55. And as you can see, the 2 locations where the interchanges were constructed, Harbins Road in Gwinnett, and State Route 81, Loganville, and Barrow, traffic has actually improved at those locations, which is great. The bottom map shows the average speeds along the State Route 316 for the 2022 period. And what you can notice is that eastbound and west to these interchanges now exceed the 55 mile per hour. They follow the 55 mile per hour speed design, which is great. It's just showing that it's a reduction in the congestion. So now that I've provided a high-level overview of essentially the why, now there are some locations that still need to be further studied, and I wanted to discuss that briefly with you and how we're moving forward with that. This slide continues the State Route 360 corridor introduction by providing some baseline stats. The primary purpose of this table is to put the planning study or the next steps in focus versus what's already completed. The 2 lines and the asterisks, those are the projects that you heard about earlier today. The 13 locations are the primary planning focus, and right now, those are under evaluation for continuous improvements, and they span across all 3 counties. The planning study purpose is still consistent with overall goals of the corridor, which is reducing crash frequency and severity and improving your congestion and accommodating the growth in the area. This study that we're proposing in Office of Planning will utilize a wide array of data sources, including local zoning plans, land use plans, future development, origin destination data, and traffic data, just to name a few. This study will continue to build upon the great State Route 316 work that's been previously completed. And I cannot stress enough the importance of the stakeholder feedback as well as the public feedback that we'll need for a successful study along with the projects. This is a cornerstone of a successful study at all points, and within this study, we're going to engage the public as well as the stakeholders to solicit feedback and incorporate into any future project developments. From a study timeline, the study started this summer is expected to last 18 months, which is expected to conclude in December of 2023. So you may be wondering, who will we be coordinating with? What types or what groups will we be coordinating with on the State Route 316 planning study? There's a wide array of stakeholders that are shown on the screen, but we do have a highly skilled consulting team, or CADIS, right now doing an existing conditions analysis. And one of the first goals of the meeting with the stakeholders is for them to take a look at that information, validate it, and provide any feedback that we can use in the further evaluations. The study is led by Megan Weiss, who's our Capital Region Branch Chief and Office of Planning, and Sandhya Dudu, who's the State Route 316 project manager for the study. The initial stakeholder meetings are expected to occur early in calendar year 2023. And as an aside, but it's very important, the office, GDOT, the internal stakeholders, we're preparing for a stakeholder meeting in October to meet with Oconee and Barrow County, similar to what occurred for Gwinnett County, an overall corridor view. We want to make sure that they're aware of the status of the various projects and soliciting feedback for our further studies, which again is critical. This won't replace or take the place of the public information open house meetings that occur with their own individual projects. However, you're still critical, and for the future projects, the 13 locations that I discussed earlier, whatever information from these meetings that we receive, this will be provided to the program delivery team for further use in their development of the projects. So, what would we consider in terms of future improvement types? You've heard crash data. That's related to the safety. You have the traffic and land use data, interchange space requirements, those are key, and again, the stakeholder and public outreach. And whatever information that we could provide from that to help streamline perhaps the concept development activities, we're definitely looking to do that. So, what happens without the additional improvements? Well, we expect traffic to increase, or congestion to increase or worsen. Your crash rates to continue to increase. And with the rapid increase with the population and growth, the network, will possibly have some adverse impacts. And that's something that we are not seeking. Therefore, this study is of extreme importance. The website at the bottom of the screen is something I'd like to just encourage you to visit if you have the time. It provides an overview of all the projects along the State Route 316 corridor. And we constantly meet, and when I say we, multiple GDOT subject matter expert offices, meet monthly to discuss ways to better improve the website, to display the information in a concise and easily viewable manner. And the offices include GDOT Communications, District 1, Program Delivery, Alternative Delivery, Roadway Design, Design Policy and Support, Environmental Services, and of course, your GDOT Planning. I'd like to thank you again for the opportunity to present the State Route 316 update from a planning perspective, and happy to entertain any questions or comments that you have.
Thank you, Mr. Robinson. Appreciate that. Any questions from anyone? Mr. Boswell?
Yes, it's in my district, and a lot of it is anyway, so it's something that will be hugely beneficial to our area.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
Anyone else? Any other comments or questions? Or none? Mr. Robinson, thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that, and great job. We look forward to being updated on the progress of this. All righty. If there is no further business, we now stand adjourned.
Okay, we'll call the meeting of the Committee of the Whole to order, and I'll welcome Troy Pittman, District 5 Engineer, to present to us.
Good afternoon, Chairman, members of the board, Commissioner McMurray. Thank you for having me today. My name is Troy Pittman. I'm the district engineer for District 5. And I'm going to give you an update for fiscal year 2022 for our district. I'm going to start today providing some interesting landmarks, information, and facts about our district. I'm going to talk about some of the projects we've been working on this past year and talk about some of the projects we've completed and opened to traffic. I'm going to talk about some of the activities our district staff have participated in order to deliver these projects to some of our other programs. And then we're going to wrap things up and give you a quick look ahead for FY 2023 and what we plan to complete and open to traffic and some of the projects we plan to let to construction. So just a little perspective about our district. We are home of the Okefenokee National Wildlife Refuge, a 353,000 national wilderness that encompasses most of Charlton and Ware counties and parts of Brantley and Clinch County. It's considered one of 7 of Georgia's natural resources. We're the home of 2 historic Civil War sites, starting with Fort Pulaski National Monument, located along the Savannah River, west of Tabby Island, in Chatham County. The other is Fort McAllister State Park, located along the Geechee River, east of Richmond Hill in Bryan County. We also have a large military presence in District 5, starting with the largest installation. We got the Fort Stewart Army Base, which touches 5 counties and is home of the 3rd Infantry Division. We got Hunter Army Airfield that's located in central Savannah in Chatham County and is home of the 75th Ranger Regiment, 1st Battalion. And down south, we got Kings Bay Naval Submarine Base, home of the U.S. Navy's Ohio-class nuclear-powered submarines located near St. Mary's in Camden County. And last, we got the 165th Airlift Wing, which is co-located with the Savannah Hilton Head International Airport in Savannah. They provide tactical airlift to personnel, equipment, and supplies worldwide, and they're celebrating their 75th anniversary this year. We have the Edwin Hatch Nuclear Power Plant, located along the Altamaha River, north of Baxley in Afflin County. And of course, we have the Georgia Ports Authority in Garden City, the 4th largest container port complex in the U.S., the largest single terminal operation in North America, and the largest growing container port in the nation over the last 12 years. And we got Georgia Ports Authority down in Brunswick, the 3rd busiest port in the U.S. for total roll-on, roll-off cargo, and the 2nd busiest for roll-on, roll-off imports. And we're the only district that has coastline, and we have 110 miles of it with 15 barrier islands. We got 3 MPOs in District 5, starting with the Coastal Region MPO that covers Chatham County, southern portions of Effingham County, Richmond Hill, and Bryan County. We got the Hinesville Area MPO, which covers all of Liberty County, and the Brunswick Area MPO that covers all of Glenn County. The District 5 is located in the southeast corner of the state. We have just under 1 million in population, with a 7.5% increase from 2010. We're made up of 26 counties, a mixture of rural, suburban, and urban centers. We're the home of Chatham County, the 6th most populated county in the state, and the home of Bryan County, the fastest growing county in the state with 48% increase in population from 2010. This is no surprise due to the growth we witnessed in Bryan County in the last several years. A good example of that There's a recent announcement that the Hyundai Motor Company will be building an electric vehicle manufacturing plant at the Bryan County's mega site near I-16 US 280 interchange. This development will create over 8,000 new jobs and bring even more growth to Bryan County and the surrounding area. District 5, we have 3 board members. Starting with the 1st Congressional District, we have Ms. Ann Purcell. The 12th District, Mr. Greg Morris. And we only have 1 county in the 8th District with Mr. Tim Golden. Just to name a few of our transportation features, we have 7,934 state, interstate, and state route lane miles and just under 2,000 bridges. As of September 1st, our current employee count is 366 with 96 vacancies. From this time last year, we have seen a net gain of only 12 positions. However, I'm glad to report that there's been recent improvements to our recruitment with virtual job fairs and changes to our hiring guidelines to streamline our interviewing and onboarding process. These changes are relatively new, but in the last 2 weeks, we were able to increase our net gain by an additional 20 positions. That's 20 positions in 2 weeks versus 12 positions in 1 year. With these results, we certainly believe we can improve our numbers going forward. I want to take a moment to briefly mention our TIA regions and our single county T-SPLOS. We have the Heart of Georgia Altima Hall, one of 3 regions to first pass TIA in 2012, and they recently approved an additional 10-year term in May of this year. We have the Southern Georgia region that approved TIA in 2018. We also have several counties that currently have a single county T-SPLOS. They are highlighted in yellow. They're Scriven, Effingham, Bullock, Bryan, Liberty, Long, and McIntosh. I'd like to recognize Ware County. They are not only in a TIA region, but they also have a single county T-SPLOS. In Chatham County and Orange, they have approved to place a T-SPLOS referendum on the November ballot this year. So what have we been doing this past year? Starting with our largest and most visible projects, the I-16 I-95 interchange and the I-16 widening from I-95 to I-516, I'd like to point out that this turbine-style interchange is a first for Georgia. And here's a rendering of what that finished product will look like. Here's a recent aerial photo of the interchange looking northeast. On the far left is the I-95 southbound to I-16 westbound ramp construction. It's partially complete and open to traffic. Just below that is the I-16 westbound to I-95 southbound Turbine Bridge. And you can see the progress there. In the middle of the screen is the I-95 southbound to I-16 eastbound Turbine Bridge ramp. As you can see, most of the bridge surface has been completed. And to the right of the screen, you can see the noise wall construction adjacent to the South Bridge community. Here's another aerial of the interchange looking northwest, and it highlights the progress of I-95 northbound bridge being constructed over I-16. Further east on I-16, and looking east, this photo shows the progress of the diverging diamond interchange at I-16 and State Route 307. You can see the new bridge being constructed east of the existing bridge, and to the right you can see I-16 eastbound off-ramp construction progress. This past year we've let 35 projects to construction, a $367 million investment. One of those projects is Brampton Road Connector from State Route 21 to State Route 21 Spur. This is a 4-lane highway and State Route Spur to connect Brampton Road, GPA Gate 3, and Foundation Drive to State Route 25, State Route 21, and US 80. This project will provide direct access to the interstate system for heavy commercial truck traffic. These next 2 projects I want to highlight is the Jimmy Loach Parkway at US 280 interchange and the Jimmy Loach Parkway extension from US 80 to I-16. These 2 projects make up the last leg of Jimmy Loach Parkway that goes from Georgia Ports Authority to I-16. This photo shows the interchange at US 80. On the top of the screen, you see Jimmy Loach Extension from US 80 to I-16. This project was recently completed and opened to traffic last month. Both projects have a total investment of $63.9 million. This is one of the projects I'm most proud of. It's actually an addition to the Jimmy Loach Extension project. Our district was tasked with taking an existing interchange with stop-controlled off-ramps and designing 2 single-lane roundabouts at the ramp intersections. Once we received the task, our locations office surveyed and processed design files in just 10 days. From there, our design staff developed preliminary plans in 1 month and delivered final plans in less than 5 months, so our construction office could begin negotiation. And here's a picture of the final product open to traffic. Under our resurfacing program, we've delivered over 133 centerline miles of resurfacing. And just a few examples, this is an 8-mile 4-lane mill and inlay project on State Route 73 in Tatton County from State Route 144 in Glenville to the Evans County line. This next project is a 31-mile long PCC surface grinding and shoulder mill and inlay project on I-16 in Bullock, Bryan, Effingham, and Chatham counties. Now I want to take a moment and highlight a few projects we've completed and opened to traffic this past year. The first project is a bridge replacement project under our low impact bridge program. This bridge is located on Hiltonia Perkins Road at Beaver Dam Creek in Screven County. And this project was designed by our district staff. The next project is an intersection improvement project converting an existing intersection with stop control to a single lane roundabout. It's located at the intersection of State Route 73, State Route 23 and State Route 196 on southern limits of Glenville and Tatton County. This is Tatton County's first roundabout. The next project is a 5-mile widening and reconstruction project on State Route 144 that runs from Richmond Hill to just east of State Route 144 spur in Bryan County. This is a capacity project with access management that improves the overall level of service for the corridor. And I also like to point out that this project was also designed by district staff. The last project is a pedestrian facility project where we installed a rapid flashing beacon on State Route 119 at Church Street in Effingham County. In total, we completed and opened to traffic 7 bridge projects, 2 corridor widening projects, 3 intersection improvements, and 3 pedestrian facilities. Our district staff participates in a lot of activities behind the scenes to deliver and complete these projects. This past year, our pre-construction and construction staff have participated in 15 concept reviews, 24 field plan reviews. Our locations office surveyed 13.5 miles. This includes full field surveys, right-of-ways, and bridge site staking. Our right-of-way acquisition team completed 82 right-of-way acquisitions. And of course, our construction managers and inspectors oversaw 76 active construction projects, which represent $705 million in construction funds. Some of the behind-the-scenes activities for our maintenance staff. We spent $13.8 million in invitation to bid contracts. On the left is a distribution of how that money was spent. The majority was spent on pavement preservation with 63%, 21% was spent on fence replacement, and the remaining 16% was spent on landscaping, drainage, signs, bridge repairs, and PCC repairs. And here's a before and after example of pavement preservation project on State Route 121 in Appling County. And here's a before and after of a fence replacement project on I-16 in Chatham County. An example before and after of a bridge joint repair on State Route 121 in Tattnall County. In addition to performing their daily routine tasks, our maintenance staff also respond to emergency events. As you know, northern Bryan County was hit by an EF4 tornado in April of this year that devastated the city of Pembroke and the surrounding areas. I can say that our staff was on scene immediately after and started cleaning debris from state routes. That same night, we supplied 3 light plants and 5 pallets of tarps to aid in emergency response. Soon after, and with the help of District 2, we began clearing debris from city and county roads. We were mobilized for 10 days. We utilized 209 personnel, 106 pieces of equipment, and we hauled 1,365 loads of debris. We also participated in the winter weather event in January of 2021. In fact, we have personnel and crew already identified and assigned to certain areas of Metro Atlanta and North Georgia for such events. We were mobilized for 3 days and we utilized 70 personnel. Some of the behind-the-scenes activities for our state aid office under our local grants department. We spent just under $1 million in quick response projects. Here's an example of an R-cut we installed at the intersection of US 17 and Clarktown Road in Bryan County. This was an intersection improvement project to reduce conflict points by changing left turn movements from side street. We also issued $23 million in local maintenance and improvement grant funds to local governments. Here's an example of where that money was spent. This is a resurfacing project on Nels Ferry Road in Appling County. And some of the behind-the-scenes activities for our traffic operations and utilities office. Traffic operations, they issued 27 traffic control device permits. Our signal technicians maintain 1,918 signals. And traffic operations issued 126 commercial access permits. Our utilities office issued 880 utility permits, and 211 of them were for fiber installation for broadband. And they saved the department $2.6 million in prior rights reviews for utilities. So what's in store for FY 2023? Here's a list of projects we plan to complete and open to traffic. As stated before, the Jimmy Lurch Parkway Interchange and Extension projects highlighted in green were opened last month. The next 2 projects, State Route 4 widening from State Route 147 to George Hill Road and State Route 29 to Green Oak Road, are capacity projects to have a total cost of $118 million. This includes preliminary engineering, right-of-way, and construction. The last project, State Route 40 widening from Grove Boulevard to Trust Plant Road in Camden, is an operational improvement project with a total cost of $16.9 million. And for the major projects we plan to let next year, we have a bridge replacement project on State Route 38 at Satilla River in Ware County, a widening project on State Route 25 from Harry Driggers Boulevard to State Route 99 in Glenn County, a widening project on State Route 4 from Green Oak Road to McDilda Road in Toombs County, and a widening project on State Route 26 from I-516 to Ageechee Road in Chatham County. In total, we plan to let 60 projects to construction, a $349 million investment. And I'd like to wrap things up by recognizing our equipment operators that participated in the 2022 Georgia Equipment Operators Rodeo and Training Conference. It was held in June in Perry, Georgia. This is a conference that promotes, of course, equipment operation and safety. It's also an opportunity for equipment operators across the state to come together and showcase their skills and participate in friendly competition with various equipment tasks. I'm proud to say that District 5 won the overall state championship, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that we've been state champions for the last 15 consecutive events. And that concludes my presentations, and I'll be glad to answer any questions.
At
Does anyone have any questions? Ann?
Mr. Chairman, I don't have a question, but I'd like to make a couple of statements here. If anybody has never been to one of our rodeos in the state, you should go at least one time. It's absolutely amazing to see what our GDOT individuals can accomplish behind the wheel of a huge piece of equipment. The best that I like is the one with the golf balls. That is amazing to me, how something huge can pick up a golf ball so little and get it on an object and get it there in perfect that it doesn't fall down. But there's so many things that our teams do. It's not only a good time for teams to be getting together when a big smile is on everyone's face, unless they lose. And but we're proud to have our champions from the District 5 office. So again, I congratulate them for this year being our state champions. But I also want to say that in District 5, I have 17 of those 26 counties, and I'm very pleased to be a small part of what GDOT represents throughout the state of Georgia through the leadership that we have there. And to my district engineer, thank you for accepting all my phone calls. In fact, he told me a few minutes ago, you must have been real busy this week because I've not heard anything from you. And I said, that's okay. I got 2 more days left. But I do want to say thank you because District 5 is just like all of our other employees across the state, always very busy, there when the job is needed to be done and gets the job done so well. And they're always available, as Troy has indicated, to make that traveling to come up north whenever it's needed be, as they are to come with us during hurricane season or through tornadoes. So I want to just say thank you for all of our employees, and today thank you to District 5 and your leadership.
Thanks for that presentation. So my question is, if y'all have been the champions for the last 15 events, who's been your closest competition?
You know, this year was the first year I was able to attend, and I can tell you the competition is very competitive. It's closer than you think, so I was really surprised. There's a lot of competition out there, a lot of talent.
Any other questions? Comments? Well, if Paul Denard says that District 7 can be competitive next year, then I'll attend. Troy, thanks very much. I'll echo Ms. Purcell's comments, and thanks on behalf of the board for everything you all do in District 5. Thanks for the presentation.
Thank you.
And with that, I will call the meeting of the Committee of the Whole adjourned.